What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again. This is part 2 of the free foundation series on my YouTube channel. Now, these videos are directly taken out of my foundations course, so if you do want the full course, the link is in the description for it. And please keep in mind that if you haven't seen part 1, 2, and 3 of this video, make sure to watch them in order, as they do have important information that kind of work together here. So if you haven't seen part 1, go watch it now. If you want the full course, link is in the description. Enjoy. Everything must be balanced. This is probably one of the most controversial ones that I've put on here, and obviously this is kind of a gray area. Like, it's not so black and white. Obviously not everything in life is balanced, not all things are fair, but I will say that 99.99% of things are balanced and are fair. A lot of the things that get taken away from you get given back over time. A lot of, you can't have success without failure. You can't have happiness without sadness. You can't have, good without bad. It's just how the universe works. And I believe that this carries over into a lot of things. This carries over into, you can take this same exact principle to analyze your own actions and analyze, what you're doing versus what you're getting. Like, for example, if you're somebody who is not working a whole lot and you're making a ton of money, I know a few people. I've been this person. You're not making a whole lot of money, or you are making a whole lot of money and you're not working a lot. You're not doing a lot to earn this money. Eventually, this is not something that happens right away. Things do not balance out right away. It can happen over time. But eventually, there will be a balance that happens. Your income will start shrinking to the level that you are putting in. You basically have to keep these things balanced. And you must understand this because there have been situations in my life where things have been imbalanced. There's been situations where I worked more than I made, and obviously, as you can guess, over time, 90 days, 120 days, 3 to 6 months, usually your income will increase with your work ethic. Same thing vice versa. Usually your income will decrease with your work ethic. I've been on both sides of this. I've altered my work ethic in order to, alter the amount of income that I am making. It's just understanding this will allow you to be more in control of the things that are happening, and the results that you're getting and the outcomes that you're getting. So when you come into the mindset of everything must be balanced, look at everything and just realize that every time something gets taken, it's probably going to be given back to you. We looked at this in when we were talking about the responsibility foundation here, when I mentioned that when somebody dies, it's something that is completely out of our control and it sucks, but there is something that is gained out of that. It's a very big negative, but you also get a very big positive. Most of the time when somebody leaves your life, they teach you a lot if you're paying attention. If you're actually paying attention to what you did different or what you did wrong and what you could have done better and whatnot, it's actually a really, really incredible lesson that you get out of experiencing death. Whether it's a death of a friend, a family member, somebody else. It's a very expensive lesson because it costs the life of somebody that you love. However, it's a very valuable lesson because once you have that lesson, you start valuing the people around you a lot more, and you just overall start enjoying life a lot more. And also, whoever dies in the future, you're not going to feel as shitty about it. You're going to make sure that you spend the time and take advantage of that person while they are still here. So it is balanced in a way. When somebody leaves this earth, they leave back a gift. That gift could be, somebody teaching you that you need to spend more time with the people that you love, or somebody teaching you that you should, deal with conflict, before it's too late. There's a lot of different lessons that you can pull out of something so terrible. And these lessons, usually the lessons that hurt the most, are usually the most valuable and will help you avoid the most pain in the future. So while I'm not saying that I would trade anybody that I love for a lesson, it's 100% not what I'm saying. What I will say is that when somebody goes, there is something that is given in return. There's a positive that comes out of it, and you cannot deny this. In almost every single situation, if there is a negative, there is a positive. If there's a positive, there's usually a negative. And this is you can accept this in life and you can use it to your advantage, or you can ignore it and just get absolutely plummeted and just be a fucking victim and just make nothing happen and get no benefits out of the shitty things that happen in life. That's fine too. You can also become, I believe Buddhism is heavily based around this idea, which is why they choose to just have nothing. They choose to have no sadness, no happiness, no excitement, no boredom. You know, like they basically say no to the good so that they can also say no to the bad. And I'm not going to lie, I've looked into it a little bit. It seems like a very, very, very peaceful way to live. It's just definitely not going to be my way to live because I want to experience things. I want the positive and I'm willing to give the negatives for the positives. But these are basically the three things you can do. You can come into life like, okay, everything's balanced. I'm going to take control of my life. I'm going to, look at this thing and attack it. And if it attacks me, I'm still going to, pull my lessons and move on and become a better person. You can just ignore it and just let things happen to you and just, be sad about them and not fucking take anything from it and waste people's time and waste people's lives, not pulling lessons out of things that you should have. Or you can just say, fuck it all. I don't care about the positive or the negative. I just want peace. And there are actually people in the world that do this, and I don't disrespect it at all. I think it's actually a pretty smart thing to do because once you understand this foundation, it becomes very hard to ignore it. It becomes very hard to ignore that, if you're ever in a happy point in your life, it's usually followed by a down point. And if you're ever in a down point in your life, it's usually followed by a happy point. Nobody's ever happy 24/7. Nobody is ever, only positive or only negative because you can only go down so far. Like, let's look at it like this. You can only go up so far before literally just like the stupidest thing would just ruin your day. Like imagine if everything fucking good happened to you for like a week straight and then just one day you just stub your toe. After experiencing all that like the pleasantness that comes from, having the most luck in the world for a week straight, down to, just feeling a little bit of pain in your toe, like that blow is going to fucking suck. As opposed to you're having the shittiest day of your life and you stub your toe. You just be like, oh shit, another thing, right? So same thing vice versa. If you're just having the absolute worst week of your life, the worst week of your life, and then you find a dollar bill on the floor, that dollar bill is going to bring you so much joy, and it's just going to help balance out the universe. So you just have to understand that most things are balanced. Of course, not everything, like if you call out extreme examples, obviously, but most things in life are balanced, and you can use this to make sure that, you're doing the things that you need to do to become successful. You're making sure that the balance is moving in the direction that you want it to. You don't want to be in a situation where you're imbalanced, your relationships are imbalanced, you're not putting in enough effort, your business is imbalanced, you're not putting in enough effort, you're making more money than what you feel like you should be. Like these types of things are just all red flags that you need to start balancing it in the other direction. You got to start, making up for whatever you're missing, or else you're going to lose that thing. And sadly, I have lost things because it wasn't in balance and I just ignored it and I just wasn't proactive about it. So make sure that you understand that things are balanced, and if they're not, you need to fix them, or else they will fix themselves. And sometimes when they fix themselves, you can end up in a shitty spot. This has been a snippet from my foundations course. If you want the whole thing, the link is in the description. Peace.